Hello everybody. So I decided I'm going to do something just a little bit different today. I'm taking a break on the Pixel content until the 13th when the 7 actually releases, and I have my own device and I have a Pixel Watch and all that stuff. Then I'll do like full reviews. We're going to do the whole thing. But in the meantime, I thought I'd talk about something that I think you'll find interesting and is a little more niche. So I've done almost no iPhone content on this channel, and it's pretty much because iPhone doesn't have a lot of content to make. There aren't a whole lot of differences between year over year. There are differences, but they're a little harder to show through a video. I realize, hundreds of people do it. It's just not my preference. But I want to talk about two iPhones in particular today. The XS Max and the 4S. Two of my favorite iPhones. I got my first iPhone from my little Glide phone in 2011 or 2012, and it was the 4S. I was super excited. I think I actually bought it at Walmart or Best Buy. It was not the best place to buy it, but I did. First smartphone I ever had. Verizon finally had it, so I didn't have to move over to AT&T with worse service in my area just to have an iPhone, and I loved it. From the 4S to the 6S, it was my favorite phone. Easily the best thing I've ever used. I was hyped for Apple Watch when the 6S came out as well. The reason I want to talk about one of those is I have the 4S here. Still to date, one of the best iPhones. And as you can see, the XS Max and the 4S take a lot of cues from each other. Being a full glass back, obviously the 4S didn't have wireless charging because that didn't exist yet. But the only thing it's missing is the square edges and iOS 6. Now this phone's not set up yet. As you can see, it's very small. As a lot of you said, the Pixel 6 Pro looked really small in my hands. This is very, very small in my hands. This is one of my favorite versions of iOS. With the, I forget what you call that kind of animation, but with it's not flat, you know what I mean? It's much more unique. It's much more, I guess it's not much more fun, but it's much more professional. And it even had YouTube on it at the time. Wrong way, there we go. So this iPhone 4S with iOS 6 is one of the best iPhones that has ever made. I think it was peak iPhone. Obviously going back now, it would not still be peak iPhone. There aren't any even emojis on this. There's the numbers and stuff, but there's no emoji option. Same thing in the text bar. So I'm actually going to disconnect it from the Wi-Fi because I don't want it to start upgrading automatically to iOS 7. It's impossible to find these anymore. I've got 6 of these, but it took me 4 years to collect those. 4S that was never updated to iOS 7 for the entire existence that it was made. But yeah, let's just take a little look here. This is the settings. It's still got the same basic, iPhone feel to it. It's a little less cartoony. It's a little more subdued, a little more professional, a little quieter. But it still looks kind of similar. And I'm not sure exactly what it is about this size, but this in particular, I don't know. I mean, it's a little hard to show on the camera, but you even kind of get a depth perception. Can you see that, or does it just look like a screen? It looks deep, you know what I mean? It looks like you're actually, I don't know. It's not like it's flat on the surface. It's very strange. It's something we don't really get with phones now. One of the reasons I liked iPhone versus Galaxy back in the day is I'm still not a Galaxy fan, but the older ones tended to have a green tint to their screen, and I just did not like that at all. Still don't like it. It's not really a problem anymore, but back at the S4, S5, it really had issues with that. Let's take a look at the camera. Slow. That's very blurry. I didn't even try and focus it, but I got those MySpace pictures. As you can see, my camera roll is still on here. I got pictures of, yes, I took a screenshot of Taylor Swift because that's what I was listening to. So yeah, it's a really nice trip down memory lane. Lots of nostalgia for this. Again, the fancy YouTube app that came built into the iPhone. It doesn't actually connect to YouTube anymore. Well, I'm also not connected to the internet, but we got the old game center with the felt. Remember that? Yeah. Back in the day. And then the old folder style. And you got the old Siri. Oh, wait, this is a 4 actually. Honestly, the calculator has barely changed. It's just round now. And then last but not least, the old app switcher down at the bottom where you had to do jiggle mode to get rid of your currently running apps. So yeah, all that to say, I don't know what it is about the 4S. I really, really like this phone. It's still one of my favorite iPhones to date, like I said. Next, let's talk about the iPhone XS Max and then compare them. So the other one I want to talk about is the iPhone XS Max. This has to be like every couple of years, iPhone has a staple iPhone. So that was the 4S. That was then I'd say the 6S after that. Like the one where if someone comes in, they're like, what iPhone do you have? They're like, yeah, I got the 6S. You know, like it was the one everyone had. So I would say it's the 4S, the 6S. After that, it was the 10, I think. And then the 10R. And I haven't really identified one since then. But the XS Max is that one for me. It's finally big. It's finally like a nicer, more premium build versus like the 8 Plus. The 8 Plus was still good, but it had the home button and all this. So it was a great update. It was a great camera for the time, and it was a nice big screen with symmetrical bezels, and I love the look of this. Obviously, you still got the lock button on the side instead of the round plus and minus buttons. You got the regular ones now, the ones we still have today. Still got the little alert slider. But yeah, this one, I don't know what it is. It feels really, really good in the hand. It's a great size if you're going to do something more intensive, like edit a video, which I would do. But if you're going to do something from it, if you're going to work from it, you have enough space. If you want to enjoy something from it, you also have enough space. So I really liked that one. It's one of my top favorites. Let me know which one you actually like the best. I know most of you guys are Android users, but did you have a favorite iPhone? Because not everybody used Android, forever. So yeah, just curious. Leave me a comment. Let me know which one is your favorite and why. And we'll be back to the Pixel content soon. See you guys.